world that craves authentic representation, Kizazimoto is a breath of fresh air. Too bad it's underrated. With 10 different episodes in this anthology series hailing from different regions of Africa, there is something new and exciting to experience in each episode. This anthology series was carefully put together by a team of brilliant African animators blending different mythologies with sci-fi and fantasy aesthetics. Kizazimoto is easily one of my favorite animated series of this year. The core of Kizazimoto is its blend of African cultures, sci-fi ideas, and simple themes mixed together to form one glorious show that displays a variety of different concepts and animation styles. From hand-drawn to fully rendered CGI, the brilliant use of color, lighting across 10 episodes, it's really quite great and definitely deserves some praise. Another great thing about the show is how committed to centering diverse African cultures and worldviews without compromising their authenticity to fit Hollywood's typical standards of relatability. Describing Kizazimoto is a bit challenging because it has 10 episodes each directed by various individuals who offer different perspectives with varying themes, music, animation styles, and writing, making it feel like it lacks a strong cohesive element or foundation at times. Even so, each episode stands on its own, with many serving as likely starting points for future animated series. Now, let's delve into each episode. Let me also take this opportunity to issue a mild spoiler warning ahead. The first episode, titled Herder Boy, is about a boy who wants to become a herder in a futuristic world where cattle are protected by advanced technology and skilled guardians. This episode establishes the theme of tradition versus futuristic technology. While visually impressive, the plot does feel a bit rushed, which will be a recurring problem in other episodes, although overall it's visually stunning and well constructed. The second episode has to be my least favorite. A boy from Soweto saves his neighborhood by defeating a skilled racer. The episode includes unique character designs and intense racing scenes. This episode showcases the series' finest use of music. Every aspect, including frames and sound, contributes to the rapid pace. Still, this episode is the one with the most egregious fast pacing. If you get motion sickness, you better buckle up. I also wasn't the biggest fan of the animation style. It felt a bit crude and awkward at times, and the storyline just didn't land it for me. The following episode, Moremi, tells the story of a spirit child brought back from another realm by an unknown person. The main plot is probably the most heartwarming. It also presents a lot of its world in just 10 minutes. While this was an interesting feat to pull off, despite the beautiful animation, I was left scratching my head a bit trying to comprehend what had happened. Surf Sangoma was definitely my favorite episode. It's about a surfing instructor who conquers his guilt and fear from a past tragedy. It's probably one of the darker entries in the series. It is a particularly unsettling episode with scenes that involve some level of violence. It's reminiscent of Netflix's Arcane, not just in that respect, but in visuals too. It has the most rewatch value in my opinion, and it left me wishing it had its own extended series. First, Totem Problems, the 5th episode in the series, successfully builds an expansive world, providing insights into the culture and traditions of the character. It follows a young girl's journey to a coming-of-age ritual where she will obtain an ancestral totem. The episode is unique and imaginative. I appreciated its humor and wholesome animation style, very nostalgic in a way. The 6th episode, while visually stunning with animation technique that's near lifelike, the storyline felt a little uninspired. It warns about the dangers of clout chasing. Relatable, sure, but unfortunately unoriginal. However, it did have a great measure of humor and an interesting emotional bit at the end, so 5 out of 10 I'd say. At the forefront of the 7th episode is the focus on setting and history, with one population using it for healing and the other for violence. This episode definitely benefits from less emphasis on plot and and instead focuses on exposition, leaving it with a greater sense of immersion. A very interesting episode worth the watch. Stardust is set in North Africa and revolves around a world where people's destinies are determined by scrolls. The main character is given a blank scroll, allowing her to shape her own fate. Although it might be considered a less memorable entry to the series, it features a well-developed protagonist in my opinion. The 3D animation effectively portrays a sun-soaked desert-like atmosphere, which was very immersive and intriguing to me. Writing a good romantic story in less than 11 minutes had to be challenging, but episode 9 definitely accomplished that. The main plot focuses on a young creator's quest to gain 1 million social media followers and ultimately become a god. The love story is great overall, but the episode's attempt to blend social media clout and mythology did not work in my opinion. The humor was definitely lacking as well, but the love story was perfectly executed. The final episode, Enkai, is about a mother protecting her daughter from a hostile world. It highlights the significance of creativity and escapism. The story, like Black Panther, encourages the creation of alternative realities that challenge colonial perspectives. Ultimately, it empowers Africans to shape a world that aligns with their way of life. But put simply, this episode is very sweet and could tug at the heartstrings, especially if, like me, you were raised by a strong single mother. In conclusion, Kizazimoto Generation Fire is more than just an animated series. It's a powerful show of collaboration and the great potential of Africa's creative industry. The episodes are each less than 15 minutes long, making it a breezy and binge-worthy show. It's a visually stunning series that endeavors to showcase African culture, storytelling, and artistry. Though a bit on the fast-paced side, it's a hidden gem definitely deserving of a bit of hype.